around Yunnan today, you can find a herbaceous and spicy mix of flavor called Youqiang. There's Youqiang tripe, Youqiang marrow, Youqiang shrimp, Youqiang heart, Youqiang whatever. And this flavor itself comes from the city of Jinghong, right at the heart of the Dai minority region next to the Laotian border. And what it is, it's a mix of lemongrass, spicy fresh chili, ginger, and garlic, and all pounded in a very traditional Dai way. Then put together in a sizzling stir fry with dried chilies and Sichuan peppercorns over some really strong flame. But this is a puzzle. If you know anything about Thai food or its cousins down in Thailand, you might have known that those cuisines don't really lean on that much oil. They will stir fry it, but as a cooking technique, stir frying is a lot less common than grilling, deep frying, boiling, and steaming. But in a youqiang, there's not only dried chilies and Sichuan peppercorns in a stir fry, that oil quantity it's matching some Hunan or Sichuan cooking level. Now, there have been waves of immigrants into Subsampana over the years, and among them, there are Sichuan people. Some came back in early 20th century, and back then, many of them end up just becoming Dai. Then after 49, there were agriculturalists sent to develop the cash crop plantation industry, and over time, some stayed and some returned home. Then, post-reform and opening, basically from the 80s until today, there's a more pronounced influx of people into Jinghong, following the city's development from this humble Mekong River town into its current-day status as the Chinese Honolulu. But this is a puzzle. If it's just another Sichuan migrant's dish, why does it use basically the Dai Holy Trinity? And especially why it's pounded in that distinct Southeast Asian cooking style? Well, we don't have an answer for that. There's no record of chefs or restaurants who first started to youqiang. But what is clear is that Jinghong sits geographically and demographically at the intersection between Southwest Chinese and Southeast Asian cooking systems. So probably it's only a matter of time before someone fuses these great cuisines together. And youqiang is tasty, so today we'll show you how to make a Jinghong youqiang. Youqiang tripe is one of the most classic youqiang dishes, but because it's a newer dish from the 90s, you can basically youqiang anything. So we'll also show you how to make a youqiang shrimp, but using the Cantonese shrimp preparation, hakao. It's really good in a youqiang context because the shrimp really takes on the youqiang flavor. And personally, I do hope some nongzhuang in Shunde maybe really consider adding this to their menu. I do think it will be a hit. Anyway, now I'll hand it off to Chris, who will walk you through the process of youqiang.
So right, two core legs of our youqiang, the Dai bit and the Sichuan bit. The latter is pretty dead easy on the sourcing front. You'll need 10 grams of dried chilies. These guys were Sichuan Argentao, but cayennes, guajillo, arbol, Aleppo, really whatever tasty that you got, together with 1 teaspoon of Sichuan peppercorns, and then that's that. Then the Dai half is actually not too bad. We will be finishing our stir fry with this stuff, culantro. It's a nice herb, also seen in Viet, Thai, and Mexican cooking, but push comes to shove, you could swap it for cilantro. But the important part, the base of it all it is just 5 cloves of garlic, roughly chopped, 10 grams of fresh spicy chilies, also roughly chopped, and 1.5 inches of ginger, also roughly chopped. Then we've also got 40 grams of lemongrass, which will split into the core and also the harder, more fibrous tops. This dish is actually kind of unique in actually using up those tops, but if your lemongrass is already topless, that's also completely fine. So then we'll pound those, tossing that Dai mix into a mortar and going at it. Now, if you don't have a mortar, I do think that a food processor might work. Just don't take things too fine. We do want something about like this in the end, which for us took about 5 minutes of pounding. Then the last thing before youqianging anything is a simple stir-fry sauce. Now, Dai food in Yunnan is kind of interesting to me in that compared to the similar cuisines of North Thailand, they seem to swap the fish sauce for soy sauce and the blala for oyster sauce. Borders, I guess, apparently do matter for something. So, right. 2 primaries for you to choose from today. We've got shrimp and we've got tripe, the stir-fry process being exactly the same for both of them. But to prep those, for the tripe, we've got about 300 grams worth rolled up and cut into about 2 centimeter pieces, and then quickly blanched in boiling water for a very brief 10 seconds. Then remove, dump it in some cool water, and rinse that well under cool water to stop the cooking process, because tripe does cook in a flash. So then just drain that well, and then our tripe is prepped. Then, for the shrimp, I should probably say at first that my way of prepping shrimp for stir fry is definitely kind of anal. I'm going to be doing me, but definitely shrimp how you want to shrimp. This prep is the one Cantonese style that we covered in detail in our previous maximally delicious shrimp video. The long and short of it is to get your shelled shrimp, rinse off the gunk, and let it soak with a teaspoon of sodium carbonate or consoy, together with some water for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then you take that, rinse it really well, and then let it sit under a good trickle of running water for another 5 or 10, give or take. Then you drain that well, pat it, and then toss it on a towel and wrap everything up to ensure that your shrimps are really dry. Then you take those, about 300 grams worth at this point, and butterfly them by cutting into the back, opening them up like a book, and removing any digestive tracts that remain. Work through those, then marinate them with an 1/8 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon each sugar, white pepper, and Shaoxing wine. Mix, then toss in a glug of about a tablespoon of oil to coat. And again, definitely prep your shrimp how you want to prep them, but this is a really delicious way, and it's ready to fry. So, to do so, to a hot wok, swirl in 4 tablespoons of oil, and over a medium-high flame, toss in your Sichuan leg. Fry those until the chilies begin to get a bit chestnut colored. Then optionally color that oil with a teaspoon of a red fragrant chili powder like Kashmiri or gochugaru. Once it's stained, about 15 seconds or so, go in with your pounded dai leg. Mix it and then up your flame to maximum. Fry that all until you can begin to see the oil once again after about 1 minute. Then go in with your ingredient, tripe or shrimp. Fry the shrimp until it looks mostly cooked, about 30 seconds. Tripe only needs about 10 seconds. Then the sauce. Mix it for another 15 seconds or so. Then heat off, culantro or cilantro in. Mix it again and out. And that's how you fry up a youqiang.
So right, how to enjoy this thing. As you might be able to tell from the intro that organ meat is very classic in a youqiang. Well, that's because organs often have a lot of nooks and crannies for the flavors to get into. So if you are vegetarian, maybe something like a fuzhou tofu steak or some kind of deep fried tofu will be great in this application. In fact, at restaurants in Yunnan, you will sometimes be able to find some Youqiang deep fried stinky tofu, which is really good. And if you are organizing a meal, I think you will be able to squeeze Youqiang into a Dai or a Northern Thailand meal, which we actually did when testing. However, in my personal opinion, I do think Youqiang will be easier to be placed in a Southwest Chinese context, such as a Guizhou, Central Yunnan, or a Sichuan meal. So right, as always, recipes down in the description box. We will have full recipes for both the shrimp and the tripe version. And of course, a huge thank you for everyone that's supporting us on Patreon, and subscribe for more fun Chinese cooking videos.